Hey there, it's Jane. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today I'm going to give you an idea on how to create card sets for gifts, as well as a really cute and unique way to package those cards. So let's get started with day number 5. So this is what I'm going to show you how to do today. And we have this cute little plastic. It's actually a stamp box from Stampin' Up. I'm going to show you how to decorate it, as well as show you how to make the cards. This is the stamp case close up. I put the handle on it with my husband's help. I package it up really cute so you couldn't see it. There are many different ways to create card sets. There's so much pattern paper out there that will help you with this project. And I'm going to show you all the different pattern papers, as well as a few others that I have created off camera to show you. You can choose any pattern paper, and as you know, I love pattern paper. Now this was my inspiration. I made these many years ago. The paper was from Stampin' Up. Of course, it's no longer available. But they have another really cool paper that you might like. And I made these recently, and I put two different color alphabets, that's not true, 2 different type of alphabets on these cards. And I'm going to go back and add a different color on the top of the alphabet, because I feel like the red kind of disappears in the cardstock. But I use that skinny alpha, as well as this Pink Fresh Kelly alpha lowercase. There's also an uppercase that you can buy. I didn't have that, but I do like the little tiny initial in the corner. I think it's different. Normally I would go for something large and big. These are the ones I made just the other day using the 2 alphabet dies. This cardstock, who knows? I've been digging through my stash and using up what I have, as well as adding to it, because of course there's really cool cardstocks out there. What you're looking for is a cardstock that coordinates with each other. Reverse Confetti has some great selections. My Favorite Things has amazing stuff. This Pink Fresh Studios is still available. It's called Just a Lovely. Some of the other cardstocks I'm showing you are not available. I'm just showing you them for ideas. The other paper pad has some cute little tags that you can cut out. If you look at my day number 3, I show you how to make tags out of pattern paper for Christmas gifts or holiday gifts. You can have the same idea for these Pink Fresh tags. Lawn Fawn always has amazing paper that coordinates with each other. This is another Lawn Fawn if you want to go with the plaids. Gina K has some great cardstock. And then we have this watercolor paper from Lawn Fawn, and this is what I'm going to use today, and this is definitely available. Now there's 2 different styles of watercolor. You can see on the right it's more of a stripey, and the other one is more of a blocky, and one's a little more vibrant than the other. So I'm going to be eventually making 2 sets of cards out of these, but right now we're going to focus on the stripey watercolor one. So normally what I do is I have all of the card bases all the same color, and I just kind of, assembly line it. But this has got 6 different colors, so I went through my stash and found different colors. Now, I have no memory, so I write down everything what I need to do. And the pattern paper is really 4.5, not 3.25. You can see I'm changing that. And I wrote down the size of the foam, and I wrote down what I do, because I don't remember. So I have decided that I want my stripes to go side to side. So that was the 4.5 side, and then this is the 3.25. And I'm just going through and cutting them all out. And there they are, 4.5 by 3.25 in size. And those are all the different colors, and that is the colors that we're going to be using. So I have some 80-pound Neenah cardstock, all cut to size that I hardly ever use. So I just use it as scraps. And I'm taking this My Favorite Things stitch rectangle stack, and I'm going to cut all of the backs out of this rectangle. And then I'm going to go through my cardstock swatches and see which colors match best. This is the easiest way for me to find matching color rather than going to my wall, because I have paper everywhere. And I do have links and how I did this and some free downloads for ink swatches. I'll link to all that below as well. So I'm cutting 3 of each letter out of the different color cardstock. I taped them together, so I'm cutting out 3 of the skinny alpha and 3 of the other alpha, and it just making it short work of everything. And I'm coloring it out of different color cardstock. And I also have some organza ribbon that I've got mine, who knows where, but I'll have a link for Amazon. And I'm cutting this at 6 inches long. I cut my foam. I have all of my cardstock. I have all of my letters. I have all of my die cut squares and my ribbon. I am ready. This is how I do assembly line. I get all of the components ready, and then I make big piles, and then I just start assembling everything. That way, it just works best for me. And I do everything. I do all the rectangles, all the letters, all the card bases, all the gluing. You know, I just one after another, just like if I was a manufacturing plant. So I'm gluing 3 together. As you can see, I glue a couple at a time, and then, you know, the glue does not dry that fast that you have to worry about gluing, capping the glue, gluing, capping the glue. I'm all about seconds, microseconds. I'm all about getting things done, especially when you're mass producing. I want to make about 30 different card sets for Christmas this year. So this is how I'm working on it. So I got glue all over my glass media mat, so I thought I should clean that up before I got going. So now I have all of my 6 watercolor pieces sitting on my desk. Again, I'm gluing them all up, and yeah, they might stick together a little bit or get in the way, but that's okay. I'm using my tape runner. And I'm just eyeballing this, and I'm eyeballing it on my cardstock. And I decided that I wanted the darker color on the bottom. I'm going to do this for every single one, so I'll have a little pile of 6 when I'm all finished here. And this is just, again, how I like to do assembly line things. Especially at this time of year, I'm always looking for a handmade gift, something a little bit different. I do like to personalize them. I made some really cool ones last year. I will show you what I did last year. I will link to that. So now I'm turning them over, and I'm putting on the bottom an inch mark from the bottom of each one, and then I'm taking my tape runner and putting it above that little pencil line. And that is where my ribbon's going to go. So I'm just marking it up. I don't have to worry about the front of it, making sure it's even. I already know it's even because I put an inch for each one. And that wasn't just my measurement. You can choose any measurement that you want. So this is what I get. I do this for all 6. I cut all the ribbons 6 inches long, or approximately thereof. This is my foam. It is all ready to go as well. I like to make sure I get some really, you know, I do dots, and I like to make sure I get it in every single corner. And because my table is not very big, I'm only going to do 3 at a time. If I was not videoing this, I would have spread out and done 6 at a time. Again, these dots are not going to dry before you get a chance to assemble unless you leave or the phone rings or something exciting happens, like your kids come interrupt or whatever. So I'm gluing that on down, and I'm putting something heavy on it to make sure it dries flat. And I'm doing this for every single one. And I kind of stack them up 3 in a row. And then now I'm adhering this to the card base. Now this is where you need to be careful because it tends to move. So I had to rip 2 out because it moved. I didn't pay much of attention to it, and it wasn't straight. So just make sure they're straight, put something heavy on it, and let it dry. Now these are all my letters. So what I'm here, I'm just randomly cutting some strips of ribbon, and I'm making a knot. So I put it underneath. I take the left side, put it over top, and then I pull that left side straight down, and that gives you an amazing, amazing knot. Now you have to decide whether you want your knot on your right or your left. You want your letters on your right or your left. I go back and forth. For the skinny letters, I put them on the right, and for the Pink Fresh Alpha letters, I put those on the left. I don't know why I did that. It's just what I decided to do. Of course, you could do it any way you want. It's your card. You do it. You just do whatever excites you. So I'm gluing down my letters, and I'm making sure that the bottom of those letters are really glued down tight, and I'm putting, again, a block on top. I'm not measuring. I'm eyeballing. This is handmade, as Jennifer would say, not Hallmark. And that is how I put them all together. And then inside, I took some of that 80-pound Neenah. I cut it to 5 1/4 by 4, and I put it on the inside so I have a place, they have a place to write their personal message. I decided to make 2 separate sets, one with the Skinny Alpha and one with the Pink Fresh. So I'm showing you that I would have put the M on the left with the bow on the right so that curl kind of goes under the bow. But now I wanted to decorate my envelopes because, you know, what's a set of cards without a handmade envelope? And since I didn't do any stamping on these cards, I'm, you know, need to decorate my envelope. So I just have a plain white envelope. It's nothing fancy. I'm running my tape runner as close to the fold as possible without going over. And then I'm just adhering this down. And again, I do it for all 6. And then what I'm going to do is going to cut up. And I'm just mimicking the envelope and err on the side of cutting off the envelope so it's even because no one's ever going to know. That's the beauty about, especially when you glue it down. They're going to rip it open and they're never going to know, but they're going to go, oh gosh, look how cute this envelope is. And look how cute that envelope is. So each one has a matching envelope. Now let me show you what you do when you get too much glue on the other side. I have this, I don't even know what it is, a rubber eraser, and if I can find it, I will link. And you just erase the glue off, and it erases off really good. And here are my 6 envelopes to go with my matching cards. So now I have this wood block case from Stampin' Up. It comes 2 to a pack, and I will link to these as well. And they open up. Previously, my husband and I, we bought a handle at Home Depot. It was like $2 or something. I made a template. I marked it with Sharpie. And then he went into the garage, and he drilled holes for me. He had some trouble doing it, and I got this idea from Becky Roberts on Inking Idaho. She had no trouble doing it. So I'm thinking maybe you need a really good, clean drill bit that is good for plastic. I don't even know if such a thing exists, but that's what you need to find. These cards fit in here perfectly, and when you add the envelopes, it's great too. When you're putting them in your, stacking your cards up, make sure that your bows are laying flat and nice, because when they take it all out, you don't want your bow all crinkled. I do stamp my Positively Jane on the back of every card. Now I have these great white bags that if I can find them, I have 1,000 of them. I will link to them. And I thought, well, I don't want people to see what's in here, and I don't want to use paper shred. So I grabbed these bags, and I cut it down, I think it's just 6.5 inches wide. And I'm just putting them in there, and I'm folding it over. Just nothing, you know, exciting and fancy, just folding it over. And then I'm cutting off the top because that part of that bag sticks out too much, so I just wanted to show you. I grabbed some washi tape out of my stash. Altenew has amazing washi tapes, and I will link to those for you. And they have fat, skinny, you know, whatever. But you can get any washi tape. Hobby Lobby has it. Lots of people have it. I just decided to go with the tree theme. So there's my little case with my cards in it in the bag. And then Hero Arts has this amazing tree die that I got this year. I love the swan, but I decided to go with the tree theme for these cards in the case. So I cut out the green tree. And then I'm looking at my glitter to see which glitter do I want to use. And I decided to use this glitter card right here. It's white, the glitter doesn't come off, and it die cuts beautifully. So I take my Sizzix roller and foam pad and get most of the bits and pieces out it's still in the die, and then I take it and then I do it like this, and most of those pieces came out. Gluing it to the back of the green, and there we go. I'm grabbing my Lawn Fawn Say What because they have a great to and from in here that I really like. It's kind of a little bit whimsical. I mean, it's hard to be whimsical with tiny little letters, but it is a little more whimsical than normal. And they're very sticky, but I'm lining it up on my glass media mat, lining them up on my block, hitting them with some Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink, and you got a great to and from. Punching the hole with my 1/8 inch hole punch. Sorry, it's off camera. You got to get things close to make sure you get it right. And then I decided it was a little boring. I don't know why. And using this Trinity Stamps holder with my Little Things Cherry Mix. And I put a little glue on there, decided, and I'm picking up my sequins or my gems with my Crystal Catania. and I'm just deciding where I want it to go. Now I will show you that you can take a rhinestone and color it with a Sharpie. Any color Sharpie you want. I did not feel that my little red things were as bright and vibrant as I would have liked them to be. So this is my rhinestone. I color it with Sharpie, and I think those would have been a little bit better, a little bit more brighter, but I do like the way they came out. The recipient will not know that I like the brighter better. Lawn Fawn and Avriel have great twine. I put the little label inside my tube so I know what to buy. I like my tags long, so I just cut this like 12, 14 inches, put it through the hole. I'm wrapping it around the handle. How you tie it into a knot is totally up to you, but I do like it to hang straight, and I know it's off camera because I really had to see what I was doing here. So I'm just tying a knot both together and pulling it through. I don't even know what kind of knot you call it. I lost my Girl Scouting skills. Just cutting the top off. And there you go. There is your package cards. Nobody can see inside. They really don't know what it is, although my friends will know their cards. I give them a note, tell them they're not allowed to open till Christmas, because that is the rule when Jane sends you gifts. So I hope you like this project. Give it a try. You can grab any kind of pattern paper, search through your stash, or go ahead and order a few more. I will link to some, as well as day number 3 has a link to a lot of different packaging I'm sorry, I don't mean packaging, a lot of different cardstocks that you might want to check out. So thanks for getting to the end. I appreciate it, and enjoy.